Hello fellow Movie Crusaders, and welcome to our latest episode. My name is Sean Wasserkrug, and today we're going to be reviewing one of the most anticipated films of 2022, Top Gun Maverick. Now for me, I probably didn't really watch Top Gun from beginning to end till the first time last year. Top Gun had always been on TV, my parents loved it and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think I actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end until last year. I think it was for the Movie Crusaders with Brian Michaels. And I remember watching it going, it's fine. It's not as great as everyone makes it out to be, but I mean, it's a decent film nonetheless. So when it came time to Top Gun Maverick, I wasn't necessarily super excited for it. I mean, I'm all for watching a Tom Cruise movie. Tom Cruise is probably one of my favorite actors out there. For any of you guys checked out last week's episode of Actress Director Showcase with me and Brian, we were talking about Tom Cruise on the episode, and one of the things we were talking about is, we've been waiting for Top Gun for about 3 years now. Through pushbacks and COVID and all this kind of stuff, that we were kind of sick and tired of seeing the trailer for Top Gun Maverick, because it felt like the new Mutants, where it was never ever going to come out. But over the last couple weeks, few weeks actually, we've been starting to get this strong word of mouth from people who have actually got to see Top Gun Maverick, and people talking about how this movie is a Best Picture nominee, and how it's one of the best picture films of the year, and that it's amazing, and all this kind of stuff. And Brian and I were worried, because we were like, is the hype getting too big for this movie to the point that when it comes out today, that it's not going to hit the expectation levels that everyone's expecting, and it's going to end up having a huge backlash. Brian and I weren't going to go in with those expectations, but we were worried about the masses having those expectations. So going into Top Gun Maverick, I was excited, mainly because of the cast. I am a huge fan of a lot of the people in the cast here. Obviously, Tom Cruise, like I said, is one of my favorite actors. Jennifer Connelly, who looks amazing in this film. Miles Teller, who I'm a fan of, but I thought he was miscast when we heard the announcement. I thought, I'm glad he was in the movie, but I didn't think he should have played Rooster. I actually wanted Glenn Powell, who's in this movie, as Hangman. I wanted him to play Rooster in the film, because I want Glenn Powell to get a bigger name in Hollywood. But John Hamm, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's a great cast around this film. So, I mean, going into the actual movie, obviously the film, it's a direct sequel to Top Gun. Now, for people who are asking if they've never seen Top Gun, do I need to see Top Gun to see Top Gun Maverick? I mean, it would help. Is it necessary? I would probably say no, because I think the movie does a good job of kind of laying the groundwork for anyone who hasn't seen it. It explains kind of what happened to Goose, and it explains kind of the relationship with Iceman and Maverick. Maybe not as good as Top Gun did, but there's enough in Top Gun Maverick to basically explain the events of the first Top Gun without you having to go back and rewatch it. But me being the movie person that I am, I would say yes, absolutely. Watch Top Gun and then go see Top Gun Maverick. I mean, obviously we take place, we got Maverick back in the game. He's still flying, still being reckless, still pushing things to a limit and pissing off the people up above him. He's still a captain, where I think they said in the movie he should have been an admiral by now, but because he keeps pissing off everybody, he never gets promoted. He does something in the beginning of the film to once again piss off somebody he shouldn't piss off, and he gets forced to go back to Top Gun to teach this top class about this highly dangerous mission. One of the cadets being Rooster, who is the son of Goose from the first film. The movie here, like I said, Top Gun, the first one, what made Top Gun work was the awesome aerial displays, the dog fighting. Granted, it was practice because they were in school, but it was the visuals of Top Gun, which at the time, 1986, was pretty damn good. And then, of course, the cast around them: Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards, Meg Ryan, all these actors and actresses in this movie that just made a story that was kind of okay into something that was as memorable as it was for everybody, to still be talking about it today, for there to be a sequel 36 years later. With Top Gun Maverick, in terms of, does this movie live up to all the hype that everyone has been talking about over the last few weeks? And the answer for me is absolutely yes. Top Gun Maverick was fantastic. This movie Once again, great cast surrounding it. I liked everyone in the film. I enjoyed everyone in the film to the point where I wanted more from everyone in this movie. And you know, for me, if I'm talking about, I wish there was more time for all these characters to get more screen time, and that means how much I actually enjoyed watching all these characters. Whether it's, you know, the students being trained, or whether it be the people, the higher ups to Tom Cruise, or just everyone in general. I do think, in terms of going a little nitpicky here, I do think Miles Teller's Rooster and Natasha Phoenix Trace, played by Monica Barbaro, there's a relationship there that really isn't, I guess, grounded as much as we could hope. We don't really know what's going on with their characters. Are they friends? Are they dating? We don't really know. Could Miles Teller's Rooster character had at least one or two more scenes in the movie to really kind of make his character a little more stronger? Absolutely. But nonetheless, what we do get in this film is a great cast that works together, a very solid story throughout that makes you, A, care about everyone in this film on whether they live or die, and also takes the passion of the story of the first film and builds and grows on it. Tom Cruise as Maverick still is being haunted by the demons of what happened in the first film to Goose. Some of the best scenes in this movie is when he's having to kind of face that, whether he's watching Rooster do something that reminds him of Goose, or whether he's having to talk about the situations that happened in the first film. Tom Cruise does a fantastic job acting this, especially against Miles Teller in a lot of the scenes. Jennifer Connelly does a great job as Penny Benjamin. Val Kilmer has a little piece here and there to, give a tip of the hat to the Iceman. John Hamm plays the perfect kind of asshole admiral that you just want to punch in the face. Glenn Powell. I love Glenn Powell. If anyone has not seen Glenn Powell, I mean, he was in Scream Queens. He was on the Netflix rom-com show, or movie Set It Up, which I think was a great rom-com. He is an actor, and he's basically playing the Iceman of this movie, kind of the cocky, showboating asshole character to Miles Teller's Rooster. Glenn Powell is just so damn good in this movie that I wish we got more of him in the movie. He's in a good chunk of it, but there are certain points where it's like, I wish we got a little more of him in this, and I hope that this movie elevates Glenn Powell to a bigger name in Hollywood, so we see him a lot more, because he just has this charisma, he has this smile, he has this thing that you kind of want to punch him in the face, but you also just want to go hang out with him and have a blast partying with the guy. The cast all around is great. And like I said, the driving plot throughout the film, I think, works really, really well to help these characters get elevated. Like I said, Rooster and Phoenix, I think, could have used a little more scenes just to kind of elevate their characters a little bit more. The real reason why you're watching this movie, though, besides Tom Cruise doing crazy stuff, is the dogfighting. It is the flying, which a big thing coming into this movie was this is the first time they've shot, inside the cockpit of airplanes and doing all these aerial things that's never been done before, and it's supposed to be super crazy and just insane. And it is amazing. Some of these scenes where they're flying and testing out their teachings for this mission they're going on, to the actual mission itself. Some of these moments are just awe-inspiring. There are so many phenomenal, clinching your seat because it's that intense of what's happening moments. It is awesome, and it is something that you do need to see in theaters. This is a movie that you should pay admission to go see in theaters. This is not something you watch on your phone or your laptop. Granted, if you have a 4K TV, once this comes out on streaming and Blu-ray stuff, then by all means watch as many times as you want. But this is a movie that should be experienced in a movie theater with the movie theater speakers and everything. This was an experience to remember. I had a blast watching this. I loved watching the aerial stuff, the dogfighting, every aspect of this, I think, works for me. I loved it. I cannot wait to watch this again. The cinematography of a lot of these shots, the way you feel like you are a pilot in this cockpit, flying and spinning around and going through this to the point where you could potentially get sick because of all the crazy shots. The visuals of this movie and the direction of Joseph Kosinski, I think all work incredibly well together. Tom Cruise obviously producing this. He, like the Mission Impossible movies, Tom Cruise is going to put everything he has into these films to make sure they look the best and work the best for everybody out there. And Tom Cruise, I think, puts just about as much work in as probably the directors do in these films. Top Gun Maverick is hands down, right now, the best film of the year. Will it be that way by year's end? Probably not. But as of right now, Top Gun Maverick is a must-see. It's a must-watch. And it's something to rewatch, because this is a movie that I just cannot wait to rewatch this again. I had so much fun. Is there little nitpicks here and there that I can attack, certain character choices and stuff like that? Yes, but at that point, I'm nitpicking. Top Gun Maverick, as a whole, was a full-on summer movie adventure, and something that most people are going to have a blast watching. Definitely check this out. Strong recommendation for me. Going to my score, I'm going to give Top Gun Maverick a 94%. My highest score of the year so far. If you can get to an IMAX, sadly I was not able to. I can only imagine how much more amazing this movie will be in an IMAX screen. So if you have the ability to check that out, spend the extra money, see it in IMAX. You will not be disappointed. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys did, go and hit that like, share, and subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos that pop up on the Movie Crusaders. And of course, I'm going to follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Coming up next, the next big movie, or the next movie that I probably would review, probably won't be for another 2 weeks when Jurassic World Dominion comes out. You guys all know my love for the Jurassic franchise. We will be also having an episode, I think it's next week, where Brian, Mike, and myself will be doing a Jurassic World franchise flashback, where we'll be talking about all 5 movies leading up to Jurassic World Dominion. This week we will be having on Movie Crusaders Chat About, we will be talking about extended, unrated, reboots, basically all the director's cut kind of stuff on the Movie Crusaders Chat About. That'll be a fun episode that Brian and I are going to do. Last week, like I said, we did the actor, actress, director showcase with Tom Cruise, Quentin Tarantino, and Julia Roberts. As well as 2 weeks ago's Movie Crusaders Chat About movie marketing. Nonetheless, we have a lot of great episodes out on the channel. Feel free to check those all out. But most importantly, go check out Top Gun Maverick. You will not be disappointed. It was a blast, like most Tom Cruise movies are nowadays. But until next time, in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Movie Crusaders.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.